to another episode of Optimized, the Prime Podcast. That's it. I'm your host, Lazina, and with me is my co host, Nasheed, all the way from Bangladesh. It's probably like Monday morning now for him.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. We always start like the day before, and it
Yeah.
went. So Irina, like I'm in what time zone is something like we started on Saturday. Now it's Sunday from me, right? So we've been recording for the whole 2 days, right?
So today we have with us Irina, who I met locally here. She's one of the Women Impact chapter leaders, I believe, in which one is your location, Irina?
Wesley Chapel one.
Wesley Chapel. Okay, that's right. And I've gotten to know her a little bit from just schmoozing around the networking socials. And I thought it would be great to have her join us because I've never met anyone from Moldova. And I think that she has a really great story to share with us. And welcome to our podcast.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. It was very nice to meet you. This is going to be my first experience, so I'm very excited.
So tell us a little bit about yourself. You're from a different country. Tell us a little bit about where you were born, when you came here, and then we'll continue from there.
Yeah, absolutely. As you mentioned, I'm coming from Moldova. It's a small country in Europe, so it's between Romania and Ukraine. Probably heard of those. So yeah, we speak Romanian as well. I was born and raised there, and when I turned 21, I decided to pack my whole life into bags and go follow the American dream that I saw only the TV on the and like in the movies. So it was like a dream come true for me to come here.
That's awesome. So you were 21 and you were just like, all right, that's it. I'm gonna go to America. Bye, guys.
Yes, so we do have, I was in a university and we do have programs like work and travel where you can come for during the summer. So yeah, I decided to apply while I was in a university. I got accepted, got my visa, and came here. Yeah, I was working during the summer, and I fell in love with the culture, with country, with everything. So I decided to stay. My parents were not very happy about this, but yeah, I decided to follow my dreams, stay here, get my degree here, and just following the dreams.
I mean, that's awesome that's such a bold movement, right? To just like, you know what? I want something better for myself. I'm gonna go do it. I'm gonna go get it. I love that. That's really awesome. So tell us a little bit about was there like a culture shock for you? Like what was the adaptation like?
Of course, yes, it was definitely a big culture shock for me. My English was pretty good, but in that area of Europe, we learn more the British part of English. So the accent, even though I knew
Mm,
English, accent was something that I had to adapt with. So yeah, it was definitely a cultural shock. And then Moldova is an independent country already, but we used to be under Russian Federation for a long time. So it was a very big cultural difference. The most important thing I had to adapt with the mindset here in Moldova while raising in a school or everything. We are limited, I would say, for a lot of things, like when it comes to expressing yourself or having like the open mindset, that you can do anything or you can think about anything. We had like a you had to think in a specific way, like not to stand out. And here, I was 21, I was working at the ice cream shop, and I was working with a lot of teenagers. And the difference between our thinking, like, even though I was working with teenagers, they were younger than me, but the way they're thinking and like this unlimited mindset is here. It's definitely something I had to adapt with.
yeah. That's really big. I think I relate with that too because growing up in Guyana, I felt like there was a lot of limitations and even in a lot of things now that I look back. the culture itself played an impact on mindset. And so having the experience to be able to dream and, you know, make things happen is so different. Is And I said it already, is that you decided that you were going to do something and you did it. You committed all the way, and even while you're here, you're present with what you're experiencing, it seems like, you know.
Yes, it's another step of stepping out of the comfort zone. And now that I'm thinking, like back in it was the year of 2016, the summer of 2016 when I moved here. So now that I'm going back and thinking about working with those teenagers, I think that's what made me decide to stay here, because I realized the difference between them and me, and I wanted my kids to grow up in like with an open mindset and a lot of possibilities. Growing up, like looking at those movies, all I see about the United States was that there are unlimited possibilities here, and I came here and I found out that that's true. So I think that made a big impact, that I want to not only just share the culture and go back, but actually stay here and build my life with the possibilities that are here.
Yeah. Nashi, do you have anything? Because I know she said comfort zone, and I'm like, oh, she's a lover of stepping out of that comfort zone.
No, no, absolutely, absolutely right. So yeah, uh, what really changes from being in Moldova and coming back to the United States, right? And
Mhm.
you conquered the comfort zone, right? So definitely, it's going to be a really good mind shift from what you were and what you are. So, is there any challenges or your from a comfort zone to the one you are right now? Yeah, so how you relate that, and what will be like you expect the American dream to be look like, and what is the thing you just seeing and feeling right now? And like you said, you want to grow your children being over there, right? So how you relate that? So one of the areas I want to listen to is like how you change your comfort zone. Another one is how these American dreams, right, like changes your life, and the strugglings maybe at the beginning. You talk about the English and everything. What are the things you want to share?
Yeah, so when I started working, I was more on the independent side, since I was a kid. So as soon as I could work legally, it was about 16 years, I started to work in my country while getting my degree. So I was already pretty independent. I was still living with my parents, but on the financial side, I was more independent. So that helped me, I would say, to adapt here when I moved, because I knew how to make money, how to budget, how to make sure I can pay my bills and still have some left. So that was an important part about coming here and being even more independent. But I think the biggest challenge that I had was that I didn't realize the turn I'm about to make, because I left everything familiar. I was still very young, and I left everything that was familiar back in my country, all my relatives, all my friends. Like, I came into the unknown. So I think the most hard thing I had to adapt, and I think I still have it a little bit in me, is just I had to start everything from the beginning. I was living with some of my friends. I had only one couple of my friends that I knew here. They helped me a little bit to adapt. And they had each other, but I didn't had anybody. So a lot of learning curve was when I had to make new friends. Right there, just because we have the different in the mindset here, people are more nice to you. They are more like eager to open and to be your friend, and not always when you actually need their help. They are the one who can help you. So I had to adapt in, I would say, building new relationship to find people that I can actually trust. And when I had like ups and downs, when I had those downs, I had nobody that I can turn to get an advice, or to like even my parents, just because of the cultural differences. I could not ask them for advice, like what should I do next, because every time when I was asking for advice, they would ask me to come home. So going home was definitely not an option. I remember at that time, for me, going home was, I was looking at it like something like a failure. And I definitely didn't want to fail. I just wanted to go ahead and build my dream. So when we moved initially, we went to Delaware. It was Delaware State. It was near how it's called, Bethany Beach. Ocean City probably is more familiar in Maryland. I was very close, so it was like a summer. It was a summer place. So when the summer ended, it was even
Yeah.
more hard. It was even more hard to find a job because it was getting slow, not a lot of people visiting. So me and my friends, we had to decide, what are we doing? Are we continuing just like work for the money? Was started to be a problem as well. So we had to decide, okay, then we're going to a bigger city or just waiting for the next summer here. So we decided to move to Chicago. And again, we took all our belongings and we moved to Chicago. There, I was working multiple jobs, serving, food delivery, like working in the kitchen. Kind of got stuck into this working phase. So I wanted to go ahead and get a degree because I thought if I get a degree, I would raise my paycheck basically. So it was, again, it was on the one side, it was familiar because I was already doing this at home. I was working while getting my degree, but I was alone again in another city, new people. So I had to adapt with making friends again and again. So yeah, I think that just like to get into that mindset of how people were thinking here. I remember I was working at the server, and if you work as a server, you're basically are paid from your tips. You don't have like a salary, like a paycheck. So whenever it was slow, I would get so angry that I'm wasting my time. I need to do something. And I had other teammates who were like, "Oh, that's fine. I love it. I can relax for a little bit." But for me, it was never enough. I had this, I don't know, like fire, I would say, inside of me that I had to do something. So that was something that I was always in a rush on my next step. So I think that that what helped me to get my job, to look for something more. And even now, like I was working with my job, and that was still not enough. You asked me to relate a little bit about the American dream. I finished my college degree, I got my job, and I was working. I think I was working at one point like 80 hours a week. And I was thinking, is that the American dream that I came after? Like, it doesn't really look so dreamy. I'm overworked. I was getting to a burnout. My husband had to come into the room and drag me out of it to get some air. It was a period of the burnout for sure. And that's when I realized this American dream is not that dreamy while you work for somebody. So being overworked, I remember my friend, she invited me to a financial webinar. So I was like, okay, I'm working a lot. I was working as a software engineer. I was making pretty good money, but I didn't see any result of it. At that time, we already had our first daughter. I was spending less and less time with her. She was in the daycare already, so I was looking for something more again. She invited me to the financial webinar. I decided, okay, I don't know much about finances. I finished my college degree, but all I know is about the 401k that they offer at the job. And I still didn't knew a lot about how that 401k works. So I decided to start educating myself first. Instead of working those 80 hours, I just wanted to start doing something for myself that will fulfill me, that will fulfill that desire that I was looking at those 21 years. So that's how I actually started working in the financial industry, just because I wanted to help other people, especially immigrants who are helping coming here and are overworked all the time, and they don't know how the money system is working here.
You shared a lot about your journey, and it's really inspiring because you're absolutely right. Even when I came here, I saw my mom worked a lot, and it was just all like kind of hustle culture and make it work. And then at the end of the day, everybody's tired and we're not really doing anything. There's so much alone to that journey because it came with a lot of limiting money beliefs, a lot of limiting beliefs about what even success looks like. And then it's a lot scarier too, because when it comes to learning about finances in a different country, everybody will share with you their their story that they were scared of. And then when you get into people who can share with you the things that are true and the things that are there to help you, it's like, oh well, how do I even know that this is real? Like there's just so much internal battle that goes on there. So I think it's very important that you spoke about that, because that's something I've been very passionate about too, is allowing immigrants, people who are coming from different country, for a better world, to see that they can make money differently, and it doesn't have to mean that you're locked into something because a family member told you or whoever said anything. And there's so much that I've learned too about the financial world in the whole entire world, but in Canada, here in the United States of America, it's really incredible. Can you share a little bit about what you've learned?
Yeah, absolutely. Coming from a poor country, all the financial knowledge that I got was from my parents. And since they had this like Sovietic mindset, all about money was, we don't have enough money. We need to put some money aside on the, if you translate it, it's black days. Like for bad days, you need to put it aside.
Mm-hmm.
And since we had this like Sovietic change in our country, they even changed like the currency. So we used to have like Russian money, and then they changed it for like Moldovan money when Moldova got out of SSSR. So when that happened, a lot of people lost a lot of money. And one of those people is one of my grandparents. They were close to their retirement, and they lost all their money just because the like the country rules changed and they got out from the Sovietic part. So all my knowledge about finances was from my parents. I know now, while working with many people, I know that a lot of knowledge that they have about money is coming from their families, right? There's no like, I went to college here. Nobody taught me about how you can save for your future, how you can save for your future's child. So while I started learning about it, I found out about the 401k. I got more into depth about how I can build for my future, how I can make sure my future is planned, not just waiting for like more money to come in. I learned a lot how to actually save money, not only like putting the I had a good knowledge and understanding that you need to put some money aside from your paycheck and not just spend everything. But I got into this credit card, how you say, shiny stuff that you can actually spend unlimited of money. So
Yeah.
here I struggled a little bit because I feel like American system is built to make you spend more than you actually save.
Mm-hmm.
So I discovered many strategies how I can not only save my money but to make my money grow, because we all see what is happening right now in the United States. Inflation is rising up. We're paying a lot of taxes, and especially those people who are working on the paycheck, right? I feel like the system is built for the wealthy to get wealthier and for the poor to keep struggling and pay those taxes. So when I found out about the possibilities and when I found out the strategies that wealthy people are using, I felt the need to share it with more and more people. And now I have the opportunity to build a team and reach more and more families. Another thing I wanted to share, what I found out, a lot of people think that they need to have a lot of money to start even investing or to start to put something on the side. They think that they need a lot of money to do that, which is actually not really true. So a lot of things I learned about how to manage my money first, how to protect my family first. I personally, I got my associate's degree in computer science, and I wanted, when I had the option either to choose a job, like to go search for a job without any experience, or to proceed with the bachelor degree. And when I looked at the curriculum for the bachelor degree, there was, I think in 4 years, there were like 5 computer classes. Everything else was either math, either English. And I was like, I don't have money to pay a bachelor 4 more years and to wait for get like a diploma. So I started to looking for a job right away. I got into a boot camp that will like accelerate me getting that job that I wanted. So now I don't even know if my kids are
Hmm.
going to want to go to the college, because you have so many like online classes, courses that you can take. We don't know what our kids are going to do in the future, right? So that to be able to plan for their future too, no matter what they decide to do in the future. It's either college or they want to start in the real estate industry, whatever they want, just to be able to plan for our future, for their future as well. I think it's something irreplaceable and make my American dream true.
I really appreciate you sharing everything like that because I do agree with so much of what you were saying, especially that I've seen the other side. When I got into finances myself, it was a deep desire to learn more. I wanted to know what was out there because it just didn't make sense. And there's some things that I learned that are really, really important, but it's hard to share with people because it's so deep that if you're going to take care of yourself and you're going to prioritize your health and your wellness, you can put money into certain types of policies. And now this isn't anything, I'm not giving financial advice or anything like this. This is just what I have learned for myself.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure Irina can go into a lot more details with anybody about that. It allows you to put money aside into a specific type of account where it's gaining compounded interest. You are on an index, so when the market collapses or anything like that, you're not losing any money. If anything, you're still gaining. And after about 7 to 10 years, you can access this money. So, what I have done is I have set my children up with some of these because that someone the earlier that someone gets into these kinds of a policy, the better their future is. So if a child was just born and you take $100 and you put it aside for them into one of these accounts, by the time they are 18 years old, they have access to almost $1 million that is tax free. They can then go and buy a car, they can buy several businesses, they can go to the college of their dreams, they can travel, they could do whatever it is that they want. And so many other people have shared that these policies and talk about these kind of wealth building strategies. They're out there. It's just very complicated and it can be very scary. But when you sit down with somebody who truly have gone through that process and is looking out for your best interest, and you have to go after it, it is not a scam. It is not something to be scared of. You are truly giving your children a chance to succeed because generational wealth isn't just in money. It's also like for me, my generational wealth is the emotional availability and the emotional clarity that my children are going to have so that they can make decisions from a powerful place. That includes money beliefs. That includes looking at, and also we have to experience it, right? We have to see how these things are happening negative in our life to see that we can do them differently. So now educating children at a very young age about how money works so that they can see their parents are doing it. That is how you're starting to build that legacy. That is how you're starting to build that generational blessing. So now my children's future are already protected based on what I've created for myself, but now their children's future are also going to be safe and created because of the policies that I have given to them. And this is just a fraction of what I know. This is just a fraction of what Irina knows. It's just a fraction of what other people can share and in different environments because it's not just for one type of family, it's for just about anybody. So I say all of that to reinforce that I appreciate that you are so passionate about this. I appreciate the journey that you have had that led you to see something different. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. And there's just no going back to something else because you already know now what's out there. And you are so right. The system is designed for us to not know about it. So I'm thankful that, you are putting your all into that and sharing it, because I think it's really important. And I
Absolutely.
can't see anybody's facial reaction. So
I just want to add on, because when you mention generational wealth, it's not just about money, it's just about the mindset that we show for our children and generations to come. And I honestly feel that this is very powerful, because that's what I did. That's why I came here, first of all, because I want to provide a better life for my future kids and grandchild in the future. And being able to teach my kids from the young age that corporate world is good, but it's not what all everything is about. Because I feel like me personally growing up, I looked into this corporate world like a dream come true, and I achieved it, and it was not what I expected it to be. So, as you said, being able to provide for my kids' future a tax-free money that they can use for anything they want, and to be able to build entrepreneurs with this mindset, I think it's even worth more than the money that they're getting with it. So, yes, that's absolutely powerful.
yeah, I agree. Nishi, do you have anything to add?
And I was listening right, saying, and you are absolutely right. Like the mindset matters, and saving money is to that. Often during your conversations, like I was thinking, like, yeah, why I haven't joined the podcast in my beginning, where I was struggling with the money when I had money, but I was struggling with the money. How to do that? How to save it? How to do the better for the futures as well, and everything. And like what you said, like I know Lazina is thinking about my comfort zone, because I'm really passionate about leaving the comfort zone to have the success stories and everything. Like, so when I have in my comfort zone, and I really don't bother about the monies and everything, but I was struggling with my fear that I was not doing good. Now, what I am doing good, and I am satisfying what I am doing, giving my kids, because I'm in the entrepreneurship journeys, and also in the podcast with Lazinia and others, and also with the coaching business, and in the passion of music and everything. I do have my time with kids and teaching them how to save the monies and everything and others. At the same time, when you're in the entrepreneurship, and it's not the early stage, but definitely you don't have the comfort zone or the six-figure salaries like what you had before, because you need to look after the employees and everything. So the main building blocks is like definitely the mindset, and also the planning is very important, right? Even though if you have like in the earlier days, it says like you need to have $1 million to start a business. Nowadays it's something like, okay, no, if you have a couple of dollars, you can start a business. All you need is your mindsets, and all you need your leaving the comfort zone, and all you need are one or two or three good mentors who will guide you and understand, like, from A to B what you're doing and everything. And definitely by the course of time, you need to understand about the money, how it works and others, so that eventually it will, like there is a quote and everything, like the Amazon founder, like Jeff Bezos, right? When you're earning money while you are sleeping, you are having a good future in life, right? So that's
Yes.
how you can relate. And definitely, since we already learned from that, and since we both three are having kids and others, so our main responsibility is to learn them about the money. And there is a one good example, or one good story I want to share. Initial days, like when I wanted my elder one to read books, and I was figuring out like she's not reading the books, and but I wanted to push, and but not the push part. I wanted to let her learn how to read the books. But when I started, then I found out that I'm the one who's not reading books, so I cannot push my kids to read the books. So it was like, no. So I bought the first book, and it's something like about like how you can organize yourself. So the main part of organizing yourself is to like do go to your cupboards, organize your clothes. That's the main part of like organizing yourself. So I was reading that, and I was very happy and everything. Then I push my elder one to read the books, and eventually I found out, yeah, she's not more attentive and everything. So then I did some analysis. I've been to websites, I have a couple of mentors, and I found out, okay, why not you finish one chapters or finish one book, I will reward you money. And the money is not going to be like a transactional ones, like I will give you the money, you will spend it with the ice creams and everything and others. No, it's going to be a virtual money. We will save it and in your account. So when you have one chapters, you would get the monies and everything. And by that time, she had a diary. She had a diary, and we learned how to the debit credit works. Like okay, it's and everything and others. After a couple of days, after a couple of months, and everything, no way. I was like then sit alone and thinking how many books I want to buy for her. It's like keep going and everything, and she's like coming, Baba, it's this is my money, this is my money, and everything. And at the end of the year, you really amazed to listen or amazed to hear that she had a hell lot of money, and then she eventually pushed me like, hey, this semester I will pay my books with my own money. And I was like, no way, as a father I cannot do it. You can save it and gradually, and if I can show her like bookshelf, you would be amazed to see that lot of books and everything. And I was really happy that okay, this is how you make the money, this is how you debit and credit works. And the main agenda of earning the money is like you have to spend it in a good faith. You can buy a book, you can buy a gift for your elder sister or your parents, or maybe you can help them. So when she had like let's say less than $1, less than $100, and she was like, oh, I was feeling like I'm the richest person in the whole world. Then she moved to one store and she found out one of the poor people are sitting and asking for the money, right? And then she moved to the another store and she was found out that all the things she wanted to buy is very expensive. She was in the middle of the dilemma like, okay, I'm not the richest guy in the whole planet, because she needs money because she is poor. She gave the money to her, and the rest of the money she enjoyed it for herself. So this is how she learned, and I'm really happy that one of the good example the story I wanted to share, and they that this is keep going on in the buildings, and I'm seeing the younger one is also putting the foothold over that. So it's very important about the mindsets and how you plan it and how you organize it, right? So back to you.
Yeah, I really love that you're sharing the story because I think as the three of us, I will consider we're immigrants on this call, right? And so we do understand like what it's like to be in a different country, to understand different government system, this different society rules, to really see what struggle looks like on another side, right? And then also on knowing that America had okay, we can go to like a Western civilization and success is there, but it really also determined by our what we have on the inside and what being open-minded to truly explore. Like when I first got into finances, I understood what was happening. I understood the process and why they needed me to learn it in a specific way, but I chose to do that. I was like, okay, I want to learn. I want to learn as much as I can, and if this is the way for me to learn, I'm going to do it. But I was conscious of it. I wasn't letting other people's opinions or other people's experiences stop me from what I could learn. And so I may not agree with certain things a business does. You don't have to, and it can be something that you're dead set against, but you still find a way to learn what you can and grow what you can. You get the stepping stones or whatever is on the other side of it, and then choose, if I could, this is not for me and this isn't for me, right? But don't just go in because, oh, I've had this previous experience before and this is what it was like. No, going with it open minded, there's something else that you can learn, so that's kind of like my opinions and thoughts about when it comes to immigrants. I think there's a story that I have, right? There's somebody that I told I was going into finances with. And the very first thing they started to share was their fears. And if I had listened to their fears, I wouldn't know what's available to me now. I wouldn't know what is there for my children, and I wouldn't know what's there for other people who are walking the same path. So we do need to find the immigrants who are learning about these things to teach us, because if we rely on another American to do it, they're not going to be able to relate to us in the way that we can relate to each other. Thank you very much. Now, is there anything before we end our session today? Is there anything that you're really passionate about that you would like a final message you would like for people to know?
Yeah, I think I wanted to come what you both shared, and I think once the person is not afraid to step out of their comfort zone, here's where the magic start happens. But because a lot of time, and I'm guilty of that personally, staying in the comfort zone, especially for people who have their kids. They always say, we don't have time, this and that, I need to go with the kids. And a lot of time, people are putting their kids as the reason of why they cannot grow or get out of the comfort zone. But I feel like the magic starts out of the comfort zone. And that's so important and powerful, not about the money mindset, but the actual personal growth that you're getting out of the comfort zone, and to be able to show your kids how they can achieve their dreams instead of just telling them. Just like you, Nasheed, said, your daughter didn't start reading until you start reading. And that's what I did too. I mean, my kids cannot read yet. My oldest is 4, but that's what I did with my parents. Like, my parents wanted me to go for law. I didn't want to go for law. They gave me a lot of advices, but I didn't saw them doing. And I understand it's coming from a good space. They want a better life for me, but I understood our kids are not doing what we are told them to do. They are doing what they see. And to be able to show them how it's done, how to not be afraid to follow your dream, not only financially, but personally, and to be able to show them how you can grow into the best version of yourself without being scared. I think that's the most fulfilling and powerful what you can give it to them.
Thank you. That's so beautiful. I couldn't have said that better myself, and I will let that be the powerful ending that our listeners can take away from today. Thank you so much for lending your voice to our conversation. I look forward to spending more time with you, and I'd love to invite you on again, or anybody that can add value to our conversation. Please let us let us have community. Nishi,
Okay.
do you have
Thank you.
anything?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Thanks a lot for dropping by and also sharing your stories. Definitely, this podcast will be live soon with the audience and those who are in the immigrants and struggling like you as a parents in the beginning, reading books, changing careers, and everything. And I do really love like you are in the tech areas. Myself, I'm on also in the tech side, so I do understand like how things going and everything. My father wanted to make me an army officer, right? So I thought of myself like, okay, he has the one for 37 years or something like that. Why I do change something in the family? So I changed to them as a software engineer or tech guys and everything, and I'm really happy. And before he died, I look at his eyes and everything, and the message I got from him is like, okay, you are doing good, and I'm happy for it. And that's one of my accomplishment, like not being an officers, right? Not being an army officers, even though sometimes I feel jealous seeing my friends are doing very good as an army officer in the army, navy, and air force. But it's a balance and a time. But the career I am having right now, it's more on spending time with the families because of the entrepreneurship journeys. You're not stick with the 9 to 5 job. And even I'm doing some of the consultancy work with the other companies, but you have your 8 plus 8 plus 8 time, right? 8 times for your own, 8 times for your business, 8 times for your families and everything, like 8 hours and everything, 8 plus 8 plus 8. So I'm really happy for that. And thanks for sharing your messages and everything. And definitely we look forward to have you with the more conversations in coming days. Thank you very much.
Absolutely. Thank you very much for having me by. It was a pleasure. I always like to talk with like minded people, especially immigrants, because Americans cannot really relate to that. So I would love to come again. And if I know somebody, I will definitely share with you, Lizina, to come back. And whenever it's live, please share with me. I would love to listen to it.
Yes, I can't
Definitely.
wait. It's going to be great. Thank you so much.
Thanks so much.
Thank